charity begins at home. That's the whole essence. Let me go back to Reverend Emerum to talk on this a little bit more too.
Yeah, just to accentuate on what Muyumba have said, that women are better savers. Do you know that in the Fortune 500 company in America, statistics has it that women has been the best CFOs of organizations? Yes. I'm telling you. When I came across, I said, what?
We're not busy thinking of Ferrari.
Oh my goodness. They have been the best CFOs in Fortune 500 companies. So you can see the diversities, the abilities God has given to these two different individuals.
Yes.
So synthesizing that is key to building a strong family and a society. It's critical.
Definitely. Definitely.
So just to put it from a statistics point of view, just so I can give it to you straight up. There was sorry, let me put my hand down.
Yeah, no problem. I got you now. I got you. That's good.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. The statistic that I can cite is that there was a statistic done of married families and single families, and they found that the median household wealth of a single family, and they look at people aged 25 to 34. This was a study done about 2-3 years ago, and they found that the single couples, whether they were either single or even cohabiting, just without actual marriage, found that they had a wealth of $25,000, while the average married couple had a wealth of about $34,000 to $40,000, almost double. And these were young couples that were surveyed. Then when you find that marriage statistics, so even the effects on, let's say, Black families, it was a breakdown of statistics where the Census Bureau managed to break it down versus married and non-married Black families. And they found that what skews the Black income for the household was single families were making about, single mothers and single fathers, but mostly 90% majority single mothers were making about $30,000 a year, while the $30,000 to $36,000 a year, while married Black families, regardless of whether the woman is working or not, were making $75,000 a year. So it's a double. It's he who finds a wife finds a blessing. I can tell you that. But statistically, it's proven that when these two come together, there's an economic outcome that actually betters society as well, and they become very independent.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's absolutely good, and then also it's a better kind of a umbrella to raise a child to then emulate anything that they can learn from such union. As we talk about the responsibility, let's deal with what about the advent of babies, having babies? How should we prep our children to especially, making sure to be there and be responsible? Let's piggy it also with making sure the males are always responsible, such as provision for the family, being more important among the young within themselves. Dr. Akere, how would you address this to help our society in dealing with this?
So the first thing that we, of course, we teach is abstinence for children, young children. So, but then unfortunately, not everybody practices abstinence. So we do have those cases where, young children, because I want to call them children because they are still children, having babies, as young as 13, as once a girl hits her period, she can't get pregnant. Even if she's 9 years old, she can get pregnant. So it's important that we talk to, first of all, from what we were saying before, preferential treatment there shouldn't be any preferential treatment. We should treat boys and girls the same way when we're raising them. Okay, give them the same opportunities. And then when we're talking to them, it's very important. For me as a mother of boys, I make sure that I am, like I said, I'm raising my boys for the world. So I raise them and tell them, do not mess with somebody else's daughter. If she were your sister, would you want somebody to treat her that way? So we have young children going around, having sex, let's just call it what it is, unprotected sex. And I tell my boys, if you have unprotected sex, these are the things that can happen to you. You can get a girl pregnant, you can get a disease, you can get HIV, and I just laid down. Ever since they were old enough to understand what it means, I did not shy away from those conversations. And I always tell them, if you get a girl pregnant, you will stop school and you will get a job and you will take care of her and the baby. You are not going to leave her alone. So these are conversations we have had, and they know that I'm serious about it, because if it was my daughter that somebody got pregnant, I would want, you know, I would want that person to at least take some responsibility. Okay, maybe both of them do not have to stop school. We can figure something out, but we're not going to leave like it's usually done, all the responsibility to the girl and her family. Having said that, prevention is still better than cure. So
Exactly.
it's very important that as we're raising our children, and to parents out there, you have to teach abstinence. You have to lay it down and let them know the dangers of what they're doing. Some of them will listen, some of them will not, but at least you have done your own bit as a parent, being responsible. Because the truth is, you can't everywhere they're going to be. So that's why we try to emphasize real conversations with them. A lot of us parents, and I wouldn't even just say African parents. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Yeah.
Yeah, we
A lot
can.
of us as parents, we shy away from those conversations. Our parents, didn't really go in depth with it with us. And even now, some of us find it difficult to talk to our children, but maybe because of, my profession, I talk to kids all the time. So mine were no different. I would lay it down for you and they'd be like, oh yeah, mom, they can recite it already. When I start talking, they know. And, growing up, I tell them, one thing I tell them, especially girls in church, they're your sisters. All the girls in the church are your sisters. Unfortunately, now that they're older and we're looking to them to, bring a wife, now I have to tell them, well, we're not really
Well, they're not
related.
really.
So if you like her, you can go for it, but we're not related. But in those back then, I just had to find ways of making sure that they stayed pure and that they didn't get in trouble, and more so didn't get somebody else's child in trouble. So
Exactly.
coming back to, we are raising our children for the world. I'll stop there.
Okay, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I do want to touch base a little bit before we bring in our special guest, on the fact that what about raising special children? And Dr. Kara, I would like for you to actually piggyback, bring you right back on to speaking on that, and then follow with our gentleman right there. I know this is your area. You deal with children that are with issues, anxieties, depression. But in terms of in Africa, we do have, it has come a long way, but, touch base on it in terms of, parents that have children with, difficulties in working, and any kind of disability. How should we be giving encouragement and also talking about it more now, especially in Africa? So it's not looked as a taboo or something of that nature.
You've said it. We have to talk about it. We have to talk about it. We shouldn't shy away from it. We need to pull those parents in. We need to disabuse our minds of that thinking of someone who has a child with special needs probably did something wrong, or somebody did something to the child.
God is punishing them.
Yeah, so we have all of that going on. I mean, I just wrote a book on my experience, because my middle son, I have three sons. My middle son, he's 23 now. He has autism. So I wrote a book about just the challenges, and I'll share that with you, Bibi. Maybe you can,
Definitely.
the group. And so it just talks about my experience raising a child with special needs, and especially in our community when people don't really understand what's going on. And, so it's very important that we open up our minds. When you see a mother or father with a child with special needs, always reach out to them. Don't stay back, because a lot of people don't know what to say. They don't know how to approach it. Just ask, is there anything I can do to help? How are you doing today? Do you want me to, keep him for a couple of hours while you go to the store? They're just little things that we can do to this parent. Just reaching out, be nice, and teach your children. Also, raise your children to be kind to children with special needs, because children are the most cruel when it comes to children that are not like them. They ostracize them, they don't talk to them, they don't play with them, they tease them. So my boys, I think they've been privileged with that. And then they were teaching their friends. All their friends love their brother. They all, when they're all around, he's around them, even though they don't understand what he's saying, but they kind of accept him and embrace him. So you teach your children, when you see a child with special needs, be compassionate, be empathic, reach
That's
out,
awesome.
play with him, sit with him in the lunchroom. Don't leave him alone or tease him when other kids are teasing. So those are,
Right.
things that we can do for when we're
Definitely.
raising children with special needs.
Yes, teaching our children, especially, I'm glad you brought about the cafeteria within the school. Be that the child that firstly reached them to be their first friend, or, bring them along that they are handicapped doesn't mean that they can't be cheerleaders or get into sports, but because of their situation, they may be shying away with it. Participating in certain activities, but if they have a good friend who really trusts them, love them, because God called us to love unconditionally. That is the main unconditional love right there. That will help them, encourage them to participate in activities. Let me go back to Reverend Amiram before we go ahead and go ahead, Reverend.
Yeah. Just what Dr. Tade has said is having this discussion among parenting is key. Because from our tradition, what we do when we have such kids, we try to keep them behind. And that is one of the worst things you can do for those children. So that bringing that discussion at the limelight, it's necessary. I think it's the first step to approach this challenge. Because like she said, when such thing happens in a family and within our culture, it's regarded as a taboo. Something wrong has happened, especially if you are a pastor. Why can this happen to his pastor's family, for a pastor's child? All those insinuations are there because we lack understanding. We try to hide them. So that is a barrier. That is a really strong mindset that we need to make. Bringing that discussion as a family, I think it will help. Thanks.
Definitely. That's awesome. I'm thankful and grateful that you said that. We are going to introduce our special guest today, Lady Jen Wagu, who wrote the book Signature in Jet Age Parenting. We have a little small video that I would like to play for everyone to see.
Introducing the new Xulon Press book, Signature in Jet Age Parenting by Jane Wagu. Signature in Jet Age Parenting is available in Christian bookstores and online. Purchase it today.
As you can see, we have a wonderful opportunity to meet the author today. And like I said, her name is Miss Jane Wagu, who is an author. And in fact, I call her my auntie. As most of you guys know, in Africa, even if it's just within the next village, that person is your auntie. But this one, I can testify, is definitely a good auntie for me when I was growing up in Washington, D.C. So when I learned about her book that she just wrote, I was just really ecstatic because I'm all about raising children very well. So Lady Jen Wagu is a Nigerian of Igbo descent. She's first a wife, a mother, and a grandmother, of course, nowadays, who is a classroom teacher, a high school principal, a youth leader, and a healthcare worker. Mrs. Wagu is biologically blessed with 5 of her own children, while she also fostered 3 other more children. Again, like we said at the beginning of our show, it takes a village in Africa to raise a child. Raised in a Christian family in ambience of love and peace, Mrs. Jane's parents transmitted their cultural and ethical values to them and impressed these of their children to practice these virtues wherever they go. And I can vouch that Mrs. Morgan have done that. She took this instruction to heart, and her passion to care, which had led her to her opportunity to write a book about it. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome on to Prayer Talk for her first time appearance, Lady Jane Wargu, for being here with us.
Thank you very much.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. This is awesome. This is awesome. And I'm sure you'll be ready for some of the questions we have. We just want to start by saying, what is really jet set parenting? Given the video that we saw, it kind of really point out to some of the stuff we have raised up prior to bringing you on board. And the jet set parenting, and especially given the video, there's no really a particular formula for raising children. Give us your idea. What led you to call this book Signature in Parenting and Jet Age Parenting?
Thank you again. Yes, let me start with what I know very well to do. Jesus started with prayers, so I'm gonna start with prayers.
Thank you so
Asking
much.
God, the Holy Spirit, to speak, because I don't know what to say. Whatever it puts in me, let me say that. And I'm gonna think through him, with him, and with him in Jesus' name. Amen. I'm happy this is a prayer talk. So, yes, I'm so happy to be here, and I have heard your wonderful panelists. I'm so happy. I've learned a whole lot. You never can stop learning.
Absolutely.
So, when I talk about signature, here, I am not talking about paper and pencil. So you're not signing anything with paper and pencil. When you decide to be a parent, you pray. You're gonna be standing on prayers. And as you stand on prayers, you evaluate yourself, self-evaluation, and search your soul searching, injected parenting. What are you searching for? Look at yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, financially. Are you prepared to be a parent, to raise these children for God? You are a resource. The source has given you the children. You are a resource. What kind of resource will you be to these children? So now you look at yourself in those areas I've mentioned and think about your own maturity. Are you matured? In every facet of your life, are you ready for that job, honored job, holy job, doing it? Are you ready? Then you look at for your different areas of your life, decision, decide. You know what the challenges are in parenting. We say it's difficult, but with prayers, you'll be smiling through your tears. You're working hard, you can't even have 1 minute to yourself, but you're still so happy to be doing it. So the challenges of the time you give yourself, total giving up of yourself. You have no time of yourself anymore. The sleep is not anymore yourself. Your finances are not yours. Anything you have is giving up for the child. Are you ready to do this? The sacrifices you will make to be a parent. These are the areas you look at to see. If you look at them, all the perseverance, commitment, everything you need to do to get this child. You look at yourself and think that you are ready, you are worthy, you are matured. The decision is conscious. It's not something that you are consciously taking a decision to raise this child. Then you get all that together and put in your soul, enshrine it, and describe it in your own heart and mind and soul, through your words, through your action, and then you put it there. That's what I call signature. You sign it right there. Why do you have to do that? It is making you focused. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I'm ready. I know the sacrifices, I know the challenges, I know the commitment, you put it there. When you sign it, that's what I call inside your heart, it says, this is the signature, I am ready. And it's a very, very empowering and giving you focus. That's what you call signature in jet age parenting.
Awesome, awesome. So in terms of jet age parenting, are you referring to like nowadays, the changes in terms of like, say, given that when you were growing up, I know you were raised in Nigeria for most of your part of your life, married there, and raised some of your children over there before coming to United States and raising majority of them here. What exactly is jet age parenting? Are you referring in terms of the differences here between the cultures, raising them in America or raising them in Nigeria, or as overall the changes that have overcome all of us, which will continue as evolution continues? There's always going to be a comparison of changes between this generation and the next generation to come. So is that the differences that you're looking at?
Yes, it's a generational change.
Okay.
What we experienced at home, we are growing up, how our parents raised us, the conditions that time, they were quite different from what we have today. Take, for example, look at decision making. When we were children, parents would just make decision and just impose that on us. We were barely consulted when decisions were made about ourselves. But today, it was working because things were very different. You know, the mode of communication was different that time. Now things have changed greatly. Social life, the social media has brought a whole lot this time. So as things change, we try to readjust. The old values of virtues are still very, very powerful. But are they working now? We can adjust what we had in the past in order for it to work today. Get the children more involved because they are very curious, more curious than we were in there. So much, we trusted our parents, they really merited that trust. If you watch many of the parents we have today, many of them are not really doing what they should do. That time, children were first. Parents will not, if you watch your mom will never eat until you finish eating. Whatever is left, she will go and collect the remnants in the place. But this time, first of all, you have to ask the children, what you eat, they'll eat, and so things have really, really changed a lot. Okay, think of social media. Right now, children can stay in the morning, just don't do anything, and greet their mom, they calling, but now some children stay in their homes, in their rooms, and text good morning to you. Things have really changed. Yes. You can text
Oh my God.
Yes. And
you are lucky that they texted
Oh
you
my
even.
God.
You see, yeah, it's true. Yeah. And you see, children can now find their partner online. That time, the parents have to go out, and sometimes parents make the decision for you, find a partner for you. Or if you find one, they will go out all the way out to find the background family. But now I have watched myself a wedding on a TV wedding staged, and the man didn't even know why he was invited to the TV. His shoot was there, everything was in their flowers, and he was told that this woman loves you and would like to marry you. Do you know somebody conducted that as a wedding? I watched it. I'm not saying yes. But how could you marry without telling your parents that time? They go out and make sure the family is not a family that have some kind of mental problem in their generation, or they are thieves. We look out for those things that make up for the the name of the family. Are they really the reputation of the family, of your in-law matters a lot. And then this time, social media has stolen lives, has stolen information, has stolen so much. Even family unity they don't have now. So the things have greatly. Look at our religion. There's church everywhere. When I went home last, every street you have, almost every house had a church. And the more we have churches, the more we have these people stealing, evil keeps multiplying. But then when you said in the past, I'm going to church, parents were really the model, but now you don't even know your parents. They have their children, they don't know they have their children. Children are keep going everywhere. They don't know who is their parent, their father, or they may know their mother who just be tossing them around. The mother is in this room, the father is in this room and have another friend, and they have a stepchild, but his own child is next door.
Mm.
The mother is having another stepson. I mean, it's a mix up. The mix is too much. So that's what I'm going. Jet age things have really changed.
That's interesting. I'm so glad you brought about that, especially with the respect to social media, which I have reserved so that I wait till you come. Dr. Merriam, can I have you piggyback to what she just said in terms of social media? How can we really, in this jet age parenting, be able to use what we know as our root culture and believe in God and goodness, to really use it to slow down? I mean, I love how Lady Ngog just said in terms of a child is there with you, not even it takes a lot of effort for him or she to come out in the room and read mommy good morning or daddy good morning, something that was a big taboo. If you don't say good morning in Africa before, you get it from your parents, at least from when I was growing up. But now they don't even, they see you, they just walk away. I'm like, what is going on? I literally had to, shout at my children, say, you don't do that. It's a morning is precious to us, to me especially. How do we get over this jet age parenting and jet age time to really parent our children well, even though we're raising them here too, where it's a little bit, I can't even say Nigeria is not fast paced in terms of social media impacts. But what can we do, Reverend?
Well, it's such a very interesting topic. Madam Jane Wogu, thank you. God bless you for the work you're doing.
Okay.
It's challenging, like I said. But one of the things I want us to realize is that we are dealing with the present day realities. And any attempt to deny or to trivialize the impact of today's reality will be counterproductive.
Mm.
What confronts us today as a challenge is with the advent, the pervasiveness of social media. The question is, how can we use this to be more effective in our parenting?
Mm-hmm.
It has come to stay. No mistake about that. So I love what she said. She said, you could imagine you're in your house, your child texts you and said, good morning. Oh my goodness. It sounds funny, but then it's huge.
Yeah.
That would tell you the drift of culture, the influence of social media.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's the reality of today.
Mm-hmm. The jet age. Yes.
Let's say, how do we maximize it? So that's the challenge that parents have. I had a young man who is growing, he's 21. This migration from Nigeria to here in a different culture entirely, it's a very huge challenge, right? But the issue is, now we're in a different society. How are things done here? What are the values that this man had? What values have I inculcated into the life of this young person, these young people? And see how we can bring in moderation. I think moderation is the key thing here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Parents, regardless of what is happening, as long as that child is still under your roof, it is your responsibility to guide that child. No matter how old that child is, when he's out of your home, he's not leaving your home empty. He's living with certain values you have inculcated in them.
Yeah.
There are things you may not be able to achieve right now. Believe me, as you keep enforcing that, as you keep reiterating that you may not see the response, the benefits now. I'm telling you, somewhere in their subconscious mind, it's residual there. So as they step out and begin to confront the realities that they have to deal with, the Spirit of the living God begins to pump out certain things. So we should not stop inculcating the values in them, regardless of the challenges. That's the point I'm trying to emphasize. And take advantage of the technology that has come to stay. I say it again, has come to stay. In fact, it's even going to another dimension. As the Bible said it clearly, that in the last days, knowledge shall increase. Believe it or not, social media is one of them. Social media is one of them. Look at the impact of social media. Now, we've just finished a ministers' conference, a ministers' congress held in Nigeria, but everybody around the globe was actively involved in that congress. Without the advent of social media, I have to travel to Nigeria to attend that congress.
Yes.
You could see the efficiency of social media, and we know the terrible, the disaster it has brought. So those two realities are there.